In today's FX markets, let's take a look at the Japanese yen as it's realizing a second day of selling pressure here today. We're seeing it lower now and testing the lows from last week, when we did see a little bit of a bounce in the yen futures coming off the 3-year low. But now, once again, this week, we are seeing selling pressure enter the market, re-entering, I should say, the market, and pushing the yen back down towards those 3-year lows. And I think when you look at some of the reasons why we're seeing the selling pressure, number one, the global reset in interest rates, as we're seeing, again, some regions, some parts of the globe either raising rates or inferring that they are going to potentially be raising rates in the future. So I think that that had an impact on the yen and why we're seeing the yen underperform some of the other currencies from across the globe. Number two, I think it's the rising pressure of commodity prices as well. We continue to see commodity prices pushing higher, particularly when you look at energy, when you look at crude, natural gas, things of that in those natures, but also other commodities are reaching near multi-year highs in some instances. I think that's continuing to keep pressure on the yen as well, as Japan has to import most of those types of items. And again, that's perceived as a challenge for the region. And the third thing, I guess, today or over the last couple of days would be the equity markets bouncing back and taking maybe a little bit of that safe haven bid out of the Japanese yen as well. Now, when you look at the general trends, as I mentioned, we are seeing the yen futures pushing back down towards the low end of the recent range, which also coincides with the lowest levels in 3 years, as we are seeing the yen giving up a little bit of ground here. And if you look at from a technical standpoint, some heavy selling pressure through the month of September into the month of October. A little bit of a bounce last week, but if we were to take out the lows from last week, that would infer that you have a lower high and a lower low from a technical standpoint. So that could certainly persist or increase the some of the perception as to the valuation of the yen moving forward. Second of all, when you look at other currencies across the globe, we are seeing several currencies actually holding pretty firm here. The dollar is still below 94, about 93.8 in the dollar index. And you are seeing other currencies like such, for example, the Australian dollar, New Zealand dollar having a pretty decent day today. So again, that shifting dynamic, you're seeing other currencies holding up reasonably well as the Japanese yen continues to realize downside.